All right, what is up, everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're going to be recapping last night's NBA slate of games. We got 12 games last night. I'm going to talk about all of it here in today's video, your daily, everyday recap. And yeah, we're going to get into it. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. Join the membership if you want to learn more about the membership. There's a video on my channel explaining all of it. You can go back and watch that. Link to my Twitters, all that stuff down in the description below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So the first game we're going to start with is Detroit and Charlotte. The Hornets ended up winning this game 108 to 107. Both stars, I guess, for each team had a good games. Cade came out really hot in the first quarter, or in the first half, really. He had 16 in the first half. He had 12 in the first quarter. He's 6 for 8 from the field. He was just really walking to the rim. Honestly, like, he was getting whatever he wanted in that paint. No one on Charlotte could really stop him in this game. But the Hornets did make it close. You know, Miles Bridges had 9 in the second quarter, and it was only, a 1-point game at halftime. Hornets had the lead by 1 because of Brandon Miller. Miles Bridges both had double figures, while Cade had 16 in the first half. Third quarter, both high-scoring game. 31 points for each team in the third quarter. Tobias Harris had 8 points. Jane Ivey started getting involved. Miles Bridges had 7. Brandon Miller also had 7. Grant Williams had 6 points off the bench. And we get to the fourth quarter. This is a very tight game in the fourth quarter. LaMelo starts popping off. LaMelo has 15 points in the fourth quarter. Hits 3 threes. Hits a couple tough step back and sidestep threes. I mean, when LaMelo's on, he's just so fun to watch. You know, he had a 3 to tie the game with 2 minutes left. Then he had another one with 55 seconds left to take the lead. And then came down the other end, had a floater to make it a 3-point game with 24 seconds left. Come down, the Pistons get a quick 2. Jane Ivey gets a 2. They come in. The Hornets turn the ball over on the inbound. Brandon Miller, I think, was trapped on a double team, and Malik Beasley tapped it out. Ron Holland got the steal. Ron Holland came down and made a layup, and the Pistons took a 1-point lead with 6 seconds left. They inbound the ball. Grant Williams takes a 3-pointer. I don't know how, but Grant Williams, I forgot. Yeah, Grant Williams took the 3, but then it's tapped up, and Brandon Miller, just with relentless hustle, comes in, gets the offensive rebound, tips it back in at the buzzer, and the Hornets get the win. They go to 3-5. Detroit falls to 3-6. For the Hornets, Miles Bridges finally had a good game. Miles Bridges has not been his normal self this season, and he finally had a game last night, 27-7, 8 for 14 shooting, 2 for 3 from 3, got to the free throw line a whole lot, so maybe this can unlock Miles Bridges. 25, 6, and 8 for LaMelo, 10 for 23, 5 for 12 from 3, hit 3 threes in the fourth quarter that were so huge. And Brandon Miller, 19, 6, and 4, hit the game-winning shot. Obviously, the Grant Williams also had 12 and 7. He was sought off the bench. But yeah, Charlotte hit more threes. They hit 14 threes, while Detroit 10. They also did not miss a free throw. 16 for 16 from the free throw line, while Detroit was 5 for 9. That's big. They won the rebounding battle by 1, including the offensive rebound battle they won. And yeah, Brandon Miller, thanks to LaMelo, Miles, and Brandon Miller, their big 3. I guess they came in and got this W. For Detroit, very tough loss. Jane Ivey had 21, 4, and 5. 20, 10, and 10 for Cade. You know, Tobias gave you 14 and 7, 13 for Tim Hardaway Jr., 13 for Paul Reed. In his minutes that he came in, he was solid. But I mean, unfortunately, they lost Jalen Duren in this game with an ankle. Hopefully, it's nothing serious. And just a tough way to lose. You know, when you look like, you're down, you withstood LaMelo hitting a couple shots, it came down. Ron Holland got the steal in the layup, and you think, like, oh, shoot, this is going to be our win. And then you don't box out, you don't get the offensive rebound, and a tip in sends you home. You know, it's a really, really tough loss. But Detroit's been getting better. They played a good game today. Did not shoot the ball super well and didn't really get to the free throw line a whole lot. But they played a solid game. The guards have been leading them. Cade and Jane Ivey have been really, really good. Some of the vets like Tobias, Tim Hardaway Jr., Malik Beasley have done some good things over there. So they're getting better. You're seeing growth as the season goes on. But for Charlotte, much needed win. They've been dropping a couple games, and they kept it close with teams like Boston and them. So to get a win against Detroit is good for them. It's good for them. They needed a win. Next, we have Magic Pacers. Pacers win this game 118 to 111. They are back at 500 at 4-4. The Magic are 3-6. They have lost 5 games in a row. Pacers came out, had a really good first quarter. They put up 38 points in the first quarter, shot 66% from the field. Betting, Mather, and Pascal both had 9 points. Almost everybody scored in the quarter. And for Orlando, besides Franz, no one else could really do much. But the second quarter, the Magic do fight back. Franz has 10. KCP finally starts hitting some shots. He has 10 points. The Pacers have a tough shooting second quarter, shoot just 35% from the field. And the Magic come all the way back and make it a 4-point game at halftime. Gets to the third quarter. Orlando wins that quarter. Again, even though both teams shoot very well. Moe Wagner has 7 points off the bench. Tristan De Silva, the rookie who's starting, had 5 points. And for Indiana, Miles Turner had 6 points. Jarace Walker had 7 and 3. He was big in this game. Then we get to the fourth quarter, and that's when Indiana takes over. Tyrese Halliburton really takes over this game. He has 10 points in the fourth. He hits 2 big 3-pointers that were kind of daggers. He hit one deep. I think that gave Indiana. I forgot what kind of lead it gave Indiana. I can check right now, though. He hit 1-3. I know that gave him a 4-point lead with 7 minutes left. And Jarace Walker hit a big 3-pointer. Miles Turner hit a big 3. And then Tyrese hit one more 3 with 33 seconds left to a dagger, basically. Give him a 5-point lead with 30 seconds. And the Magic, unfortunately, just couldn't come back from it. But the Magic did play a lot better of a game than they have been. The last couple games without Paolo have been really rough. But this game, they kept it really close. They had a lead, I think, at one point, maybe without this game. But they just could not close it out. Close out time, that's when you need your stars to show up. And unfortunately, their star is injured. Pacers, they had 6 players scoring double figures. Shot 54% from the field, 46% from 3. Only missed 2 free throws. And that's the recipe to success for Indiana. And then they also forced 16 turnovers. Bennedict Mathurin, 20 and 11, was getting to the line. 13 for 14 from the free throw line for Bennedict Mathurin. Tyrese had 17 and 10 for Miles Turner, 17 for Pascal, 17 and 6 for Jarace Walker, who shot 7 for 7. He was great in this game, hitting his open shots, making good cuts, playing good defense. And T.J. McConnell also had 15 and 5 assists. He also shot 7 for 7 from the field. So this is the recipe to success for Indiana. They put up a lot of points. Well, only 118 for them, but shot super well from the field. Got to the paint. And had 6 players scoring double figures. This is the recipe for Indiana success. For Orlando, Franz gave you 28, 8, and 6. A really nice performance from him, especially with Paolo out there. Need him to step up like this. Jalen Suggs at 15, 5, and 6. The bench, Mo Wagner gave you 14. Anthony Black gave you 12 and 6 assists. KCP, 13 points. He had 2 threes. And Goga Badasi had 10 and 12 in this game. But yeah, we all know without Paolo, it's going to be really tough for Orlando. But the good thing in this game is they stayed in it. Honestly, if they hit a couple more of their threes, they win this game because they shot 51% from the field. They shot 7 for 25. They're at 28% from 3. So if they had a couple more threes in this game, they might be able to get this one. Orlando was almost in there, but credit to Indiana, they found a way to close it out. Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Turner found ways to close it out, and they are back at 500 now. Next, we go to Knicks Hawks. The Hawks win this game 121 to 116. They go to 4 and 5. The Knicks fall to 3 and 4. The Hawks executed great in the fourth quarter of this game. That was really the big thing. The first half was really tight. Zachary Versace, the number 1 overall pick, 22 points in the first half on 8 for 11. He hit 5 threes. Jalen Johnson had 10, 6, and 5. Trae Young started to get it going. He had 10 points. They shot 45% from the field, 44% from 3 in the first half, did Atlanta. But New York was in there. Karl Anthony Towns had 20 in the first half. Josh Hart had 10. And they shot 47%, 50% from 3 in the first half. Really high scoring. The Hawks led by 4. Third quarter, the Knicks took it 20 to 24. Jalen Brunson started to get it going with 9 points. OG had 7 points in the quarter. Atlanta's 3 started not falling. We get to the fourth quarter, but Atlanta has a great fourth quarter. 32-27, they outscore them. They shoot 47% from the field. They also took 15 free throws in the fourth quarter and made 10 of them. So, yeah, thanks to Versace and Trae Young, combined for 13 free throw attempts. Even though they only hit 2 shots, they combined for 13 free throw attempts in the fourth quarter. The last couple minutes of the game, they executed really, really well. A lot of great ball movement. Trae Young finding his guys. Jalen Johnson hit a big 3-pointer in the corner. I remember Clint Capella was running the floor and had some easy buckets down low in the paint. Zachary Versace had some big free throws in this one. They had some big rebounds as well in this game. Good rebounds. The Knicks could not get an extra possession, I feel like, in the fourth quarter. Well, the Hawks could. And the Hawks ended up winning this game. Zachary Versace gave you 33 and 7, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, no turnovers, 11 for 18, 6 for 10 from 3, 5 for 9 from the free throw line. He was a plus 14 in this one. An amazing game from Zachary Versace. And I've really liked what I've seen from him so far. I feel like he's been one of the more just not hyped number 1 overall picks. But so far this year, he's shown some things that he can be a really good piece to this Atlanta Hawk team. He might not be a star or anything like that, but he has some great role player, glue guy ability, like traits that he's shown so far. Like I feel like he always knows where to be at. He's always finding open space. He's always, you know, kicking out. He's always open for shots. He's been knocking down his threes. He's been not afraid to, if they close out, to attack the rim and get to the rim. He's not been afraid to make the extra pass, make the extra play. Defensively, he's been holding his own. Like he's done some really good things. He might not average 20 something points per game or anything like that, but he's gonna impact winning. And last night he showed it why he was a highly regarded pick because he impacts winning and he had an amazing game. Trae Young, 23, 6, and 10. Jalen Johnson, 23, 15, and 7. He was a plus 26 in this game. A really good game from him. Clint Capella had probably his best game of the year, 18 points. He was 8 for 8 from the field. They shot 45% from the field, 39% from three. Only missed 6 free throws. They won the rebounding battle, 48 to 41, including 16 offensive rebounds to the Knicks, 7. They won the assist battle. They also forced double the amount of turnovers. The Knicks had 16 turnovers. The Hawks only had 8. So a great game from the Hawks. They've won 2 in a row after going on a little losing streak. Now they're back and they're winning 2 games. And That's Daniels also was really good in this game. He had 4 steals. He had a good job on Jalen Brunson. Even though he only shot 3 for 16, he did his job on the defensive end. For the Knicks, a tough loss. You got 34 and 16 for Karl Anthony Towns. Jalen Brunson, 21 points. He was 8 for 18. It just felt like the Knicks just could not execute late in this game. Felt like late in this game, they just, anytime they needed a shot, they couldn't get it. Even though they did hit 22 threes in this game. They shot 46%. This is an amazing three-point shooting game for the Knicks. And they still ended up losing because it felt like in the fourth quarter and the second half, they just couldn't really, like specifically the fourth quarter, specifically the last like maybe 4 minutes of this game. It just felt like they couldn't really execute. Jalen Brunson wasn't really taking a whole lot of shots. The shots were going to like Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart late in this game, which was tough. Like they need him. Karl Anthony Towns was aggressive though, and usually when Karl Anthony Towns is aggressive, they win games. This is the cat they kind of need for the rest of the year. He took 9 threes, 34 and 16. This is the kind of cat they needed in this game, and they got it, but they just could not execute and end up winning this game. Even you got good production from Miles Bridges. Miles McBride, Deuce McBride, 16 points, 7 assists. He had 4 threes off the bench. The depth also is not good at all for the Knicks. Besides Deuce, they just have nothing else. They had Jericho Sims and Tyler Kolek really out there playing. But the Knicks, tough loss. I would like to see them maybe, and I think a lot of it is going to be fixed later down the line because of chemistry. You got to remember this team is still kind of trying to figure out how to play together, bringing in Mikal, bringing in Karl Anthony Towns, not having a lot of the pieces they had last year. So this team is still, needs to work on their chemistry, needs to work on how to play together. And I think that's really going to change throughout the rest of the season. But right now, it's tough. It hasn't been horrible for the Knicks. It's just been kind of tough because you could tell one night Karl Anthony Towns feel like he's super aggressive, and then one night he's taking 9 shots. It just feel like Cat has been all over the place. Mikal and Josh Hart, their shots have been kind of in and out. The bench, some nights are going to give you some good production, some nights they're not. It's just been a very up and down. I feel like every game has been just like we don't know what we're going to get from the Knicks in a sense. And I feel like once they finally figure out their rhythm, once they figure out, all right, this is how he likes to play, this is how he's going to come play, and all this, then I feel like it's going to change a whole lot. But the Hawks, they played a great game. Zachary Versace played an amazing game, and they executed late down the stretch. Next, we have Warriors and Celtics. This is a really, really good game. And the Warriors coming to Boston end up winning 118 to 112. They go to 7-1. Boston is 7-2. First quarter, very low scoring first quarter. Both teams could not really shoot the ball super well. Golden State shot 28%, 25% from 3. Boston was 31%, 33% from 3. Derek White had a great first quarter, 12 points. He had 3 threes in the first quarter. But I felt like the Warriors just couldn't really, no team could really establish themselves at all, even though Buddy Hield did drop 8. Second quarter, the Warriors have an amazing second quarter. Outscored Boston 32-16. They shot 57%, 54% from 3. Andrew Wiggins had 8 points in the quarter. Kyle Anderson hit 3 threes in the quarter. He was hitting those shots. Moses Moody had 5 in the quarter. They dominated on the glass 12-8. Had 8 assists in this one. Forced 5 turnovers. It was a great quarter for Boston. Couldn't really get stuff going besides Payton Pritchard. Jason Tatum was 1 for 2. Derek White was 0 for 5. 1 for 3 from Drew Holiday. Still no Jaylen Brown as well in this one. And just a tough quarter for Boston. And Golden State won at halftime with an 11-point lead. We get to the third. Steph starts heating up. 11 points for Steph in the quarter. Trace Jackson Davis has 6 points. Jonathan Kuminga has 5 points. Boston, though, does better. Boston has 41 points in the quarter. Jason Tatum starts getting going. 17 points in the third quarter for Tatum. 4 for 6 from 3. Got to the free throw line a whole lot as well. And the Boston came right back in this game. Can't hold the champs down for long. Al Horford had 7 points. Derek White hit 2 more threes. Payne Pritchard hit 2 threes. They shot 50% from the field. They hit 10 threes in the third quarter. Also had 16 rebounds, had 8 offensive boards, and they came all the way back. We get to the fourth quarter. Steph takes over. Steph hits some big shots in this quarter. He has 10 points. Draymond Green has 7 points in the quarter. Andrew Wiggins has 6 points. Kevon Looney was huge as well in this quarter. Kevon Looney had 3 offensive rebounds in this fourth quarter. He has 6 points. Buddy Hield hit a dagger. And then for Boston, they shot 3 for 13 from 3 in the fourth quarter in this game. They just could not get the shot to fall in the fourth, and the Warriors were. The Warriors are making the extra plays. Steph had a layup to make it a 5-point game. Tatum came down, got the and one. But then Kevon Looney, Draymond missed a 3. Kevon Looney got the offensive rebound, tipped it in. Next possession, Steph missed a shot, but Kevon Looney, offensive rebound, tip it in to make it a 4-point game. Then after Tatum missed, they came down, and Steph driving, kick out, Buddy Hield on the wing, dagger 3. And then they made their free throws. The Warriors made all their free throws late in this game. Tatum also missed a 3 with 4 seconds left, to make it a 1-point game. Kyle Anderson hits 2 free throws, and the Warriors end up winning this game. But just a huge win from the Warriors. I mean, the second half, they shot 51% for the field. Steph gave you 21 points in the second half. Overall in this game, Steph gave you 27, 7, and 9 with 4 steals on 8 for 17 shooting. The team shot 41% from 3 in this game. They only missed 4 free throws and got more free throw attempts than Boston. They won with the rebounding battle, 53-47. They've been the best rebounding team in the league. 15 offensive rebounds and some huge ones in the fourth quarter of this game. Just an amazing win for the Warriors. Andrew Wiggins gave you 16 points. Buddy Hield, 16 points. He was a plus 20 off the bench. He had 4 threes. Kyle Anderson, 11, 5, and 4. 10 for Jonathan Kuminga. And just the Warriors made the plays in the fourth quarter. Whether it was Steph having to make a shot, whether it was Kevon Looney getting an offensive board, who had 6 offensive rebounds, whether it was, the drive and kick to Buddy Hield, whether it was getting a defensive stop, forcing a tough shot, forcing a tough 3, securing the rebound. The Warriors just made all the plays in the fourth quarter they needed to make, really. And they've been really good. I mean, I made the video yesterday, which you go back and watch the 3 surprises and disappointment this year. And one of my surprises was the Warriors being this good. And I said the level of competition has not been great so far, and it's about to get really hard. And this was the first game. And so far, they passed. I mean, they really stayed in this game, even, having that big second quarter, withstanding Boston's run. When Boston put up 41 in the third, they didn't, falter or anything. Steph started hitting some big shots. Everybody had some contribution in this game, whether it's Draymond on the defensive end, Steph hitting shots, Buddy Hield hitting shots, Kevon Looney getting offensive rebounds, Kyle Anderson hitting shots, Gary Payton, making some good plays. And it felt like they just got. I've been saying this all year. They've been getting production from everybody on both ends. Everybody's been making something happen, and that was this game as well, where so many different guys, made some stuff happen late in this game to get this victory. It was a huge victory, and if they're beating the Celtics and winning games like this, then the Warriors, they're going to be a scary team, I guess. For Boston, Tatum gave you 32 and 4, 26 for Derek White. Payne Pritchard gave you 16. Neemias Queta, who started 14 and 8, he had a really good game. 10, 7, and 3 for Al Horford. Just couldn't hit the shots when they needed to. Couldn't get the offensive rebounds when they needed to in this one. And when they need a big shot, they just could not get it to fall. Unfortunately, Jason Tatum just could not hit the shot. But not really, super worried about the Celtics. They also have not had Jaylen Brown for the last couple games. And when he comes back, that's going to be a huge, piece to this team. Obviously, he's the second best player on this team. But for the Warriors, this is more of an amazing win for the Warriors and a bad loss for the Celtics. This is more of a really good Warrior game, a really good win, and they look like they're going to be I don't want to say contender, but they look like they're going to be a tough beat in the Western Conference. Next, go to San Antonio, Houston. Houston beats San Antonio bad, 127-100. They go to 5-3. The Spurs fall to 3-5. They came out, put up 31 points in the first quarter. Fred VanVleet, 9 points in the quarter. Jabari Smith had 6 points. Dylan Brooks with 5. Şengün with 4. Jalen Green with 5. San Antonio shot 39% from the field and 1 for 5 from 3 in the quarter. They go to second, and Rockets put up 32 more. Shoot 61%. Fred VanVleet, 6 points. He was 3 for 3 from the field. 6 for Şengün. Jock Landale had 7. Tari Eason with 5. And the Spurs shot 33%. Over on the first half, The Rockets shot 58% from the field, while the Spurs shot 36% from the field. And that was really the entire game. Third quarter was high scoring on both sides, but the Rockets kept in front, and the Rockets just ended up dominating this game. Fred VanVleet was big. Fred VanVleet has not been shooting the ball well. Came out at 21, 7, and 10, shot 10 for 11, only two threes attempts. So he's getting to the mid range, he's getting to the basket, and getting some easy ones, trying to get him going. That's veteran type stuff for Fred VanVleet. 21 for Jalen Green, 16, 5, and 4 for Alperen Şengün. They had 7 players scoring double figures. The entire starting 5 scoring double figures. And then Tari Eason and Jock Landale off the bench both had double figures. They shot 56% from the field in this game, 37% from 3, only missed 6 free throws. Won the rebounding battle 45-41. Won the assist battle 28-20. Forced 20 turnovers as well. Just a dominant game all around from the Rockets. And they're 5-3. They're playing some really, really good and confident basketball. San Antonio, tough loss. Just could not really stop the Rockets. The Rockets, anytime the Rockets wanted something and wanted to get something, they did it. There's not really much more to say about this game. Like, anytime the Rockets needed something to go, they did. Fortunately for the Spurs, no Jeremy Sohan, who has been one of their better players this season. That's going to be tough for him to miss a little bit of time. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a lot of notes about this game. It's really just the Rockets dominating. Next, we have Lakers Grizzlies. Grizzlies win this game 131-114. They go to 5-4. The Lakers drop to 4-4. No AD obviously in this game for the Lakers. No Rui Hachimura either. And this one, I don't think. Yeah, no, Rui didn't play either. And the Lakers just got beat. The Grizzlies had a really good game. Came out, put up 35 points in the first quarter. Everybody was getting involved. Almost everybody scored in the first quarter for the Grizzlies in this game. For the Lakers, it was really just, D'Lo had a good first quarter, but after that, just didn't really do much. First half, Ja had 13, Jaren had 11, LeBron did have 22 in the first half. Then we get to the third, and that's when the Grizzlies make their run. The Grizzlies win this quarter 36-28. Jay Huff had 11 points off the bench on 4 for 4 shooting. Ja had 7 more points. Jalen Wells hit 2 threes. Jake LaRavia, Scottie Pippen Jr. both had 5. The team shot 66% from the field. They also were 8 for 10 from 3 in the quarter. They also rebounded the ball better, 12-7. They had 10 assists in the quarter. And the Lakers, LeBron was hitting their shots, but no one else could really do much in that third. And that goes on throughout the rest of the game. The Grizzlies, they have 7 players scoring double figures. 3 players have 20 in this game. Jaren gave you 20 and 6 with 3 blocks. Ja gave you 24 and 5. Jalen Wells gave you 20 points with 5 threes. I really liked what I see from Jalen Wells so far this year. He's been knocking down his shots, playing some good defense, and he's been awarded with a starting job right now. Scottie Pippen, 14, 6, and 4. Jake LaRavia had a good game, 13, 5, and 8. 11 for Jay Huff, 11 and 12 for Santi Aldama. They shot 51% from the field, 50% from 3 in this one. His 5 free throws. We dominated on the glass, 50-37, 12 offensive rebounds. Won the assist battle too. Just a great all-around performance from the Grizzlies. They also got Luke Kennard back in this game. Who played his first game of the year. He had a 3. He had 6 points. But the Grizzlies just all-around performance. That's what it's been. The Grizzlies, they've been winning games because of their all-around performances. They've had their bench step up. They've had one of the best benches in the league randomly, even though I don't think anybody can really name a lot of players on this Grizzlies bench, but they're doing it. They're coming out and they're changing the game, really. And then we have Ja playing this type of style where he's not just about getting his, but it's about getting his and getting everybody else involved. And that's been great. Jaren Jackson is back and he's hitting shots. It's been really fun for this Grizzlies team. For the Lakers, LeBron gave you 39, 7, and 6. He did everything he could, but just no one else could really do much. Austin Reeves had 19. D'Lo was 4 for 12. Don't Connect started this game. He was 1 for 7. Cam Reddish had 15, but after that, no one else on the bench could really do anything. Again, they got dominated on the glass. The threes weren't really falling besides LeBron, and it was just tough. Lakers, they've been struggling. They started 3-0, and since they're 1-4. So yeah, they just have not really been. Their depth has not been good. The threes just have still not been falling for them. If it's not AD or LeBron doing anything, it feels like no one else is really doing much on this team. They've been getting dominated on the glass as well the last couple games, especially the last 2 games against Detroit and then last night against Memphis. It feels like they've been just getting dominated on the boards. It feels like teams have just been punking them inside in the paint, and it feels like they've just been a step behind recently, and they got to find a way to get it together. But good win for the Grizzlies. Next, we go to Cavs, Pelicans. Cavs win this game 131-122. They still are undefeated at 9-0, while New Orleans drops to 3-6. The Pelicans came out with some energy, though. Came out, put up 34 points in the first quarter, shot 52% for the field. Everybody got involved. Jose Alvarado had a really good game. He had 2 threes in the first quarter. He had 8 points and 2 blocks in the quarter. Zion had 6. Bi had 4. Javonte Green had 4. The Cavs, couldn't get to the free throw line. Lost the rebounding battle in that quarter as well. They had 5. Oh no, sorry, 3 turnovers. And yeah, the Pelicans came out with a motive early in this quarter. Early in this game. Second quarter, the Cavs start to settle in. They put up 30. Ty Jerome has a big second quarter. He had 11 points in the quarter. Jared Allen had 4. Evan Mobley had 4 and 4. For the Pels, you had Bi had 6. Javonte Green had 5. Jordan Hawkins had 5. And the Pelicans. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it's a tie game. So it was a tie game at halftime. That's right. Yeah, it was a tie game at halftime. We go to the third, and that's when the Cavs start to make their run. The Cavs put up 40 points in the third quarter. Darius Garland starts getting going. He has 11 points. That was 3 for 4 in the quarter. Everybody scored for the Cavs that played in the third quarter. Jared Allen had 6 points. He was 3 for 3. Evan Mobley had 6 points. Donovan Mitchell had 5. Karis LeVert had 5. Sam Merrill hit a 3. George Niang had 2. Isaiah Okoro had 2. They shot 56% from the field, 50% from 3. Had 14, won the rebounding battle 14-8, won the assist battle 10-5. Really good quarter. Darius Garland really started to get it going. And once he started getting going, once a couple shots started knocking down, then it just felt like an avalanche, or a cavalanche, if you will, where everybody just started getting involved. And New Orleans shot just 36% from the field, 8 for 22. They couldn't get anything going. Get to the fourth, and New Orleans stays in it. Jose Alvarado had 14 in the quarter. Zion had 13, but no one else can really get it going. And then Donovan Mitchell says, "All right, I got us, team." Donovan Mitchell has 15 in the fourth quarter. He had 2 big and ones late in this game to kind of seal it. And the Cavs end up winning this one. They shoot 54% from the field, 48% from 3. They won the rebounding battle 46-33, including 12 offensive boards, 33 assists in this game as well. Just a really good all-around performance. Donovan Mitchell, 29 points. Jared Allen had 16 and 14 on 7 for 10 shooting. Darius Garland had 14 and 9 assists, 15, 9 and 3 blocks for Evan Mobley, 16 for Karis LeVert, 16, 6 and 6. Ty Jerome gave you 11 and 5 assists. Another really good all-around performance. Another game where they started off kind of slow. Just like the Milwaukee game, I feel like they started off really slow, but then they found a way to found it together. They got to the third quarter, and the second half, the second and third quarter are really the big difference makers, and then just hitting a couple shots, leading on your star, Donovan Mitchell, in the fourth quarter to really seal this game. So, yeah, just another really nice performance from the Cavs. They're 9-0, and they are absolutely balling right now. For the Pels, Zion gave you 29, 8 and 4, 27 for Jose Alvarado, 7 for 7 from 3. Bi gave you 25 and 5. Brandon Boston had 14. Javonte Green had 11. Yves Missy had 10 and 4 with 3 blocks. They just couldn't get stops when you needed to. They just could not stop the guard duo of Donovan and Darius. They could not really stop them. And then when they needed shots, I feel like in the fourth quarter, I feel like it was really just Jose Alvarado hitting those shots. Zion was getting to the free throw line, but besides that, it was really Jose Alvarado. They also had a possession where Brandon Boston they were down like 6 with like 2 minutes left, and Brandon Boston got an ISO play. That was weird. I feel like Brandon Ingram didn't really have the ball in his hands in the fourth quarter. Like, Brandon Ingram was 1 for 1 in the fourth quarter. Brandon Boston took 5 shots in the fourth quarter. That's not something that should happen at all for New Orleans. Yeah, just tough late game execution for the Pelicans. And the Cavs just are great. The Cavs are just the better team at the end of the day, and they end up getting a W. Next, we go to Bulls Mavericks. Mavericks end up winning this game 119-99. They go to 5-3. The Bulls fall to 3-5. Dallas just dominated the Bulls the entirety of this game. They put up 32 points in the first quarter. Kyrie had 15 points in the quarter. Luka had 8 points in the quarter. They shot 50% from the field. The Bulls were 3 for 17 from 3 in the first quarter. Go to the second. Dallas just keeps on them. They're up 11 at halftime. Luka has 17 and 9 at the first half mark. Get to the third, and that's when Dallas really blows this lead open. 32-23, they outscore him. Luka has 8 more points with 4 steals as well in the quarter. Almost everybody scored for Dallas. Clay had 5. Dwight Powell had 5. Daniel Gafford had 4. Daniel Marshall. Oh my God. Najee Marshall had 4. Kyrie, Spencer Dinwiddie, Prosper all hit a bucket. They shot 61%. They only hit 1 3 in the quarter, but they shot 61% from the field. Just getting to the rim, getting to the basket, getting easy buckets. They also won the rebounding battle in the quarter. They forced 8 turnovers, and Chicago shot 35% from the field in that quarter, and Dallas just dominates this game. Luka 27, 7 and 13 with 4 steals. He's a plus 35 in this game. Kyrie gave you 17 and 6. Daniel Gafford gave you 17 and 7 with 3 blocks. Klay Thompson had 13 and 6. He had 3 threes. Jane Hardy had 11 off the bench. They shot 48% from the field, hit 12 threes, only missed 4 free throws in this one. Won the assist battle 33-25. They forced 23 turnovers. For Chicago, really tough. Kobe White and Adesumu combined for 14 points. They combined to shoot 5 for 26 and 3 for 17 from three. So yeah, Kobe White gave you 8 points, especially with no Zach LaVine. Kobe White gave you 8. I would assume could not hit a shot. And that'll do it to you. You know, they shot 28% from three. They missed 8 free throws. They just cannot get anything. They just cannot stop Dallas from getting to the paint and getting to the rim and getting easy buckets. You know, Montes Buzelis gave you 13 and 9 though. They hit 3 threes, so that's something. But yeah, Mavericks just really ran through Chicago in this game. Next, go to Heat and Suns. The Suns win this game 115-112. They go to 7-1, while Miami drops to 3-4. First half was really tight. The Heat led by 3 at the halftime. Tyler Hero, 14 points. He hit 3 threes in the first half. Nurkic had 14 and 12. Devin Booker had 11 in the first half. Third quarter, Miami started off the third really well. I think they had like a 13-point lead at one point. But then the Suns said, all right, let's start playing. You know, KD had 12 points in the quarter. And they come back, and it's a tie. They tie the quarter 29-29. We get to the fourth quarter. Kevin Durant really takes over this game. I mean, he hit so many big shots. He had a transition 3 in this quarter. He got in, cut in, hit a free throw line jumper to kind of put the dagger in. Devin Booker hit a couple of shots. He hit a big 3, then he hit a mid-range jumper. Yusuf Nurkic hit a 3 from the hash in this. Was it the fourth quarter or the third quarter? One of those quarters, he hit a 3 from the hash. He had 2 blocks in the quarter as well. Bradley Beal hit a 3-pointer. That was big. They shot 58% from the field, 50% from 3 in the quarter. And then for the Heat, just really, it was hard to watch this Miami Heat in the fourth quarter because of Jimmy and Bam. The first 3 quarters, those 3 were decent. You know, they were decent. Fourth quarter, they just could not, like, Bam Adebayo would not take a shot. Jimmy Butler would not take a shot. Jimmy took 5 shots in the quarter. I don't know how that's possible. I think they were all early in the quarter because that late game execution for the Heat was just like, what is going on with this team? You know, like it was really this was the Miami Heat in the fourth quarter. Miami Heat in the fourth quarter, it was, you know, either Tyler or Terry Rozier is going to bring the ball up. They're going to find Jimmy on the wing or in the post. Jimmy's going to get in the post. Jimmy's going to take a couple dribbles, pump fake 3 times. He's not going to take the shot. Instead, he's going to pass it out to Bam. You know, Bam's going to have the ball at the wing or in the mid-range area, try to drive once, not get bumped by Nurkic. Then he's going to dribble the ball out, hand it off to Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero is going to drive to the basket and either take a mid-range jumper or he's going to kick it to Terry Rozier on the wing, who's going to miss a 3-pointer. That was I feel like that's what I watched the entire fourth quarter. I watched that same exact thing happen in different ways. You know, or Hayward Highsmith is going to get a shot in the corner for 3. Like, it was really tough to watch in this fourth quarter. Like, it just felt like Jimmy and Bam were just out there. Like, after the 3-minute mark in the fourth quarter, Bam Adebayo did not take a shot. Jimmy Butler took 1 shot, and that was a dunk because Rozier missed a 3, but then Bam got the offensive rebound, and Jimmy was right under the basket, so he just dunked it. Like, it was really, really tough to watch in this fourth quarter, you know? And then the last possession was just like, oh my gosh. Devin Booker, you got gifted. Devin Booker missed the first free throw, made the second free throw. It's a 3-point game with 4 seconds left. They inbound to Terry Rozier. Rozier finds Jimmy. Jimmy was cutting, but then he was like, oh, there's only 2 seconds left. I got to take a 3. So he takes dribble, step back. Jimmy pump fakes a 3, goes up. There's someone on his side. I forgot who it was who's guarding him. But then Jimmy, instead of taking that shot with 1 second left, he tries to pass it. He passes it to, I think it was either Terry Rozier or Hayward Highsmith, one of those 2 next to, or no, was it Tyler Hero? It might have been Tyler Hero. I can't remember right now. But he passes it and the time expires while he passes the ball. I was like, and I was just sitting here like, are you serious? Are you kidding me, Jimmy? Really? Jimmy? You passed that shot up? It was tough to watch in this fourth quarter, man. Like, Bam took 21 shots in this game. Bam took 21 shots. He was 5 for 21. He took 2 shots in the fourth quarter. Like, it was tough. It was really hard to watch, bro. It was really hard to watch in this game. It was just like, I mean, Bam, he took 15 shots in the first half, and then he took 6 in the second half. He saw the shots weren't falling, and he was like, all right, well, I'm done shooting the ball. And it's like, no, you can't do that. Jimmy Butler took 5 shots in the fourth quarter. He took 13 in the game. It was tough, man. This Miami Heat team is weird. It's really weird because Bam will have a good game here, and then he have a game like this where he's 5 for 21. Jimmy isn't going to take more than 12, 14 shots in a game. Terry Rozier has not been good to start this season. The bench hasn't really provided a whole lot. It's been decent, but it hasn't been something super. Something to talk about. You know, it's really been honestly Tyler Hero has been the best player on the Heat this season. It really has. I mean, Tyler gave you 28 points, 6 assists. He was 9 for 15, 5 for 9 from three. I feel like he's been playing really, really good basketball. But Jimmy at 15, Bam finished with 12, 12, 6, and 5 steals. Haywood Highsmith gave you 19 off the bench on 7 for 8 shooting, and you could not capitalize on it. They shot 38% from three, lost the rebounding battle 46 to 43. Just really tough for Phoenix. Great way to close out. I think they said I saw they're 6-0 in clutch games this year. When last year they were the worst fourth quarter team ever. KD 32 and 8. He had a great game. Devin Booker gave you 22 and 9. Nurkic 20 and 18. In a game where Bradley Beal only had 7 points, you still ended up getting a win. Even though Bradley Beal played great defensively. He had a really good defensive game, but they still got the win even when Bradley Beal struggling. They shot 50% from the field, 42% from three in this game as well. Yeah, just Miami. I don't know. Miami in the fourth quarter, that execution, it was really, it was just so weird. I don't know what was happening with the Miami, but they got to figure something out. Next, we have Thunder Nuggets. This was a great game, a really good game. It was a really close first quarter. Thunder won the quarter 32-30. J-Dub had 8 points in the quarter. Isaiah Joe hit a couple threes. Christian Brown and Russell Westbrook both each had 9 points in the first quarter. Go to the second quarter, and OKC kind of builds a little lead. They win the quarter 35-25, 34-25. They shoot 59% from the field. Shea has 10 points in the quarter. J-Dub has 7. Chet has 6. Aaron Wiggins has 6. For Denver, West has 10, but no one else can really do much. And Thunder held 11.8 at halftime. Get to the third, and the Nuggets have probably their best quarter of the season. The Nuggets put up 40 points in the third quarter. Michael Porter Jr., 15 points in the quarter. They were finding him. He's getting easy shots, easy threes in transition, and knocking him down. Jokic gave you 10, 9, and 3. Julian Strawther had 5. Russell Westbrook had 5. Christian Brown hit a three-pointer in the quarter. They shot 57% from the field, 54% from 3, while OKC shot just 33% from the field and had a couple turnovers, and just shots were not falling. Then we get to the fourth quarter, and the Nuggets go on a little scoring drought to start the quarter, but OKC can't really make them pay. OKC, J-Dub missing a couple free throws, missing a couple shots. Shea, every time he was getting to the rim, was just getting contact. And, contact in a sense of like OKC was just, Denver was just like bodying him up every time he got to the rim, every time he tried to get to the rim. The last couple minutes were really big in this game. Christian Brown had a big stretch. It was a really good stretch in this last half of the fourth quarter where Christian Brown got a layup off a Strawther pass. Thunder came down and scored. MPJ hits a 3, to make it a 1-point lead. Then Christian Brown, Jokic was getting doubled. Kick, swing. Strawther found Christian Brown. Christian Brown took a confident feel. As soon as he caught that ball, he knew I'm going up with it. It hit a 3 to make it a 4-point game. Thunder get 2 free throws on the other end, but then Christian Brown comes back. Jokic finds Brown, makes a great cut, and gets a 4-point lead. Then the other end, Isaiah Joe missed a 3. They come down. MPJ missed the shot. Jokic gets the rebound. Jokic missed the tip in. It's tapped out, tapped around. Payne Watson gets a 3, and he knocks it down to make it a 7-point lead. And I was like, oh my goodness, man. That was big, And then Chet hits a 3. Jokic missed a shot. Shea missed a shot. They come down. Christian Brown gets an offensive rebound and a putback dunk to make it a 6-point lead, And then J-Dub makes a shot. Strawther gets fouled, hits 2 free throws. Shea turns the ball over, and then Payne Watson comes down and gets a layup off of Jokic pass. J-Dub did hit back-to-back shots. J-Dub hit a step-back mid-range and a 3-pointer to make it a 3-point game. Come down. Jokic turns the ball over. Caruso comes in with his hands, gets a steal. Lou Dort comes down the other end. But Christian Brown plays was it Christian Brown or Julian Strawther? One of those two. Play amazing defense. No foul. The Nuggets hit the ball back. Jokic, at the end of the shot, it was crazy. Jokic was posting up near the end of the shot clock. He tried to kick it out, but then it was tapped up, I think, by J-Dub. The ball was tipped around. Jokic had the ball. Jokic just had to take one of those, one-legged step back fadeaway jumpers at the end of the shot clock. Caruso fouls him. Jokic goes to the line, makes 1 for 2. The Thunder come down. Shea hits a gets a layup. Payne Watson gets fouled. Payne Watson goes to the line, misses the first, misses the second, and the Thunder get the ball. Shea goes to Alexander. Of course, he had the ball in his hands, one-on-one. He's going at Payne Watson. He's going at somebody. I forgot who. He gets to the rim, and then Payne Watson, who just missed the 2 free throws to steal the game, comes out and gets the block, and the Nuggets end up getting the win. Great redemption by Payne Watson. Missed the 2 free throws, but comes down and says, no, I got it, and makes the block. The Nuggets put up 69 points in the second half. They shoot 50% from the field, 47% from three. Just an amazing game for the Nuggets. What a win! This is the biggest win of the season by far for Denver. They're 5-3. The Thunder get their first loss of the year. For Denver, they shot 47% from the field, 42% from three, hit 16 threes. They also got to the free throw line 10 more times. They won the rebounding battle 55 to 47. They won the assist battle 34 to 29. Just a great game from them. They had all five starters scoring double figures. Four players have 20 or more. Russell Westbrook, 29, 6 and 6 on 10 for 15 shooting, 3-4 from three. He didn't play a whole lot in the fourth quarter, but you have to credit Russell Westbrook because if Russell Westbrook doesn't have the first half that he has and the first three quarters that he has, the Nuggets aren't even in this game. If Westbrook does not have that 20-point first half, the Nuggets don't even get a chance to come out and win this game. So shout out to Russ, man. The last couple games, since he's starting into the lineup for Jamal Murray, he has been phenomenal. MPJ, 24-7. He had a huge second half. He had 6 threes. So big. Christian Brown, 24-8. He hit 4 threes in this one. He was amazing in this game as well. Hit so many confident threes. Made some great defensive plays. Great cuts. Just doing so many good things. Jokic gave you 23, 20, and 16. Payne Watson, shout out to him. 10 points, 3 blocks. Hit a big 3 in the fourth, and then got that block to really seal this game. Julian Strawther closed his game out, gave you 9, 5, and 6. He was a plus 12. The young guys. It was the young guys for Denver. It was Christian Brown, Payne Watson, and Julian Strawther that won them this game. Obviously Russell Westbrook too, and MPJ and Jokic did their thing. But Christian Brown, Payne Watson, and Julian Strawther, the young guys, they don't win this game without those three. Whether it's Christian Brown hitting that confident three, or making a good defensive play, or making a good cut, whether it's Payne Watson hitting a big three, or making that block to save the game, Julian Strawther hitting a big three, making some good passes, getting that putback dunk. Like all three of them had multiple moments in that fourth quarter that really drove them to win this game, and that's huge for Denver. That is just so huge. They're 5-3 now. They won a couple games in a row, and things are looking up a little bit for the Nuggets. For OKC, a tough loss for them. Their first loss of the year. J-Dub gave you 29, 10, and 9. Shea gave you 28, 6 assists. He did have 8 turnovers in this game, and in the second half, he was 3 for 10 from the field. So, I mean, a tough Shea half. Chet gave you 15 and 10. He was 5 for 14. I feel like he wasn't really an offensive factor in this game at all, a whole lot. And then, yeah, Lou Dort gave you 11 and 6. Isaiah Joe gave you 11. Aaron Wiggins gave you 13 off the bench. The defense just could not really stop the young guy. I mean, the young guys of Denver were just bringing it to OKC, really. They're bringing it to OKC, and OKC didn't have an answer for it. The fourth quarter execution, they couldn't get threes. They only took 5 threes in the fourth quarter. Like, the Thunder just could not get threes up. Denver was just running OKC off the line, and forcing them to get to the paint and forcing them to have to take contested layups. So great execution late in the game by Denver, and that's a huge W. And what an amazing playoff type game, honestly. Like, it was coming down to the wire, coming down the stretch, high intensity. Like, that was a very fun game to watch. Next, Raptors Kings. Kings end up winning 122 to 107. They go to 5-3. Toronto falls to 2-7. It looked like Toronto was going to get the Kings again. They won the other day on the Vince Carter jersey retirement. Toronto beat Sacramento. Toronto came out, put up 33 points in the first quarter. RJ Barrett had 11. Chris Boucher had 3 threes in the first quarter. The Kings couldn't get a 3 to fall. Second quarter, Kings made it, tight. The Kings had a lead at halftime. De'Aaron had 6. Ken Ellis had 6. Kevin Huerter had 5. The Raptors could not hit a 3 in that quarter. We get to the third. Toronto puts up 39 points in the third quarter. RJ has 8 more points. Jakob Poeltl has 6 and 3. Davion Mitchell had 6. Ochai Agbaji has 6. Jameson Battle hit 2 threes. They shot 70% from the field in the quarter, 5 for 7 from 3. Well, Sacramento was 0 for 5 from 3 in the quarter. Then we get to the fourth, and it's the DeMar DeRozan show. DeMar DeRozan has 11 points in the fourth, hitting so many tough shots. I mean, tough step back mid ranges, getting to the rim, like post fades. It was just a clinic for DeMar. Malik Monk also had 7 in the quarter. De'Aaron hit a big 3-pointer. The Kings shot 60% from the field in the quarter, had 33 points, while Toronto had just 14 in the quarter. They were 6 for 20, 1 for 9 from 3. The Raptors just could not get a shot to fall in that fourth quarter, and the Kings end up winning this game. For Sacramento, DeMar, 27 points, 11 for 21 shooting. Keegan Murray had a really good game, 22 and 12. He hit 3 threes. De'Aaron gave you 21 points. Domantas Sabonis, 17, 11, and 13. While not having a turnover, not having a foul, not missing a shot. So a perfect game for Domantas Sabonis, Malik Monk gave you 13 off the bench. Kevin Huerter gave you 11 points. But they shot 46% from the field. Got to the free throw line a whole lot. 32 free throw attempts in this game for Sacramento, while only 15 for Toronto. They also won the rebounding battle, 47-34 at 15 offensive rebounds. Keegan Murray had 7 offensive rebounds in this game. That's why I was saying he had a really good game. I feel like every time I came in and watched, he was getting an offensive rebound, or getting a rebound, or hitting a shot. Like, he's just a really good basketball player. Keegan Murray is. And yeah, the Kings get a good win. For Toronto, very tough loss. But, you see improvement. RJ gave you 23. Davion Mitchell had a really good game, 20 points. Chris Boucher gave you 17 points. Grady Dick only had 7. He was a minus 22. A really tough game for Grady. But everything else was solid, and you lost what you're trying to do. So I guess it's a win-win for Toronto, but good win from the Kings. And DeMar DeRozan is a fourth quarter monster. And final game we had, Sixers-Clippers. Clippers win this one 110-98. They go to 4-4. The Philadelphia 76ers fall to 1-6. Paul George came out and hit 2 threes in the first quarter for Philly. They shot 50% from the field, 41% from 3 in the quarter. Tyrese gave you 8. For the Clippers, Harden had a tough shooting first quarter. They shot 1 for 7 from 3. Then we get to the second. The Clippers bring it right back. Norman Powell gave you 8. Derrick Jones had 7 points. Amir Coffey had 5 points in the quarter. Philly only was 1 for 2 from 3, and that 1 3 was Andre Drummond hitting a 3. And yeah, it was a tie game at halftime. Then we get to the third quarter, and the Clippers smacked the Sixers in the third quarter. They win the quarter 33-17. They shoot 70% from the field in the quarter. They only missed 5 shots. They were 3 for 6 from 3. James Harden started to get going. He had 12 points in the quarter. Terrence Mann had some good moments. He had 7 points in the quarter. Derrick Jones had 5. Norman Powell hit a 3. Chris Dunn had 4. Kevin Porter Jr. hit a shot. They had 10 rebounds compared to Philly's 7. For the Sixers, Tyrese Maxey didn't score in the third. Paul George only had 1 shot. That's really the story. And no one else could really do much. They shot 36%. They were 0 for 8 from 3. And that really just sealed the deal. Tyrese Maxey didn't score in the second half. Paul George had 6 points, and the Clippers end up winning. A good team effort. They shot 57% from the field, 43% from 3. Only missed 3 free throws in this game. Won the assist battle 27-19. They forced 20 turnovers as well. Norman Powell, 26 points. He was 6 for 8 from 3. He's been a flamethrower. Harden gave you 18, 4, and 6. In that big third quarter, 15 and 9 for Zubac, 14 for Derrick Jones, 11 for Amir Coffey off the bench, and just a really good performance from the Clippers. I love the Clippers bench. Like, it brings energy. Like, Amir Coffey gave you 11, Nick Batum gave you 7, he was a plus 11. Chris Dunn, 4 and 5, he was a plus 17. It just feels like he just makes so many good plays in this one. And, off the bench for the Clippers on both ends. Just a really good win from the Clippers. That third quarter, they came out, set the tone, hit some shots, and everything started to fall in place. Then for the Sixers, really tough performance for them. I mean, Tyrese had one of probably his worst performance of the year, 12 points. Paul George gave you 18, but only played 23 minutes. The bench didn't do anything really besides Cam Martin gave you 10, I guess. But yeah, I mean, they shot 28% from 3. They also missed 8 free throws. It was really rough to watch, man. The Sixers, it's getting really critical for the Sixers right now. They're 1-6. I said even before while watching this game, while I was watching the game, I said in my head, I was like, man, the Sixers low key, they need to win here. Like, they need to get a win at some point, because they're kind of quietly, and when it's going 1-6, quietly, because one, they've had injuries, Joel and Paul George, and also because the Bucks also are 1-6, so they're kind of getting a little tiny bit of a pass, but they're 1-6 right now. Like, they're gonna have to start winning some games and start getting something going. Whether it's Paul George get going and getting that minutes restriction, Joel Embiid's gonna be back next week, so that'll help out a whole lot, obviously. But they just need to get a win at some point. But for the Clippers, good win for them. They're back at 500. They've been playing some decent basketball. And yeah, it's gonna be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.